And we're good. Let's go.
All right. Welcome to Bill and Steve's Excellent Adventure. I hate you. Hi. Welcome to Bill and Steve's Excellent Adventure. I am Steve.
Am I part of this too?
You are.
I'm Bill.
Yeah, there you go.
Steve and Bill's Excellent Adventure.
No, it's Bill and Steve's. It's because it's a play off Bill and Ted. That was a movie that came out before you were born, maybe. Maybe close.
No,
you were like one or two.
There's a new one coming out.
There is a new one coming out.
This is just based on the new one.
This is only based on the third movie about them having kids, which
Yes.
neither of us have, and that's why we wanted to have this podcast. It's like
Is that the concept?
Baby. Yeah, like they're older and their daughters are like in a rock band, and the things that they thought would come through in the future aren't coming true, and Rufus is dead because it was George Carlin.
That's true.
It's a real dark take. It's crossed with the John Wick series, of course. So this is, we still haven't come out with a perfect phrase to encapsulate this, but this is episode 2, and it's where Bill Beats and myself discuss things that we should probably know about based off our own interests and what we already like in media, but because there's too much shit, because we're all dying of exposure. See what I did there? Where I put it? Yeah, you like that? We have all this like knowledge debt on pop culture and music, and so we help each other out with that, and hopefully you. We're changing up the format of this episode, so this one's not going to be a little over an hour. It's going to be a half hour or thereabouts, right?
Maybe an hour. We'll see.
Hour and a half. 3 hour. It's a Dances with Wolves director.
3-hour tour.
3-hour tour. Did you just drop a Gilligan's Island
I thought
reference?
that's where you were going with that.
No, I was going much more.
Nobody
relevant.
mentions 3 hours without going into that. That's key.
I was going into the director commentary of Dances with Wolves, which is a much more obvious direction. I think.
I feel like your power stance is intense.
It's here. I guess I can. I can. I stand like Will Riker in Star Trek, just like one leg Captain Morganing the whole time. All right, so we're going to do a little trade-off time here. I'm going to teach you about some things that are happening in media, mostly television today, streaming television.
Start the timer.
And start this. I thought you meant the digital timer, and I'm like, it's right next to you, you lazy piece. You're right there. It's about time.
Let's start that hour timer for our half an hour show.
We're so prepared. All right. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with the most recent thing, although only just slightly.
I still need to find my first thing. So go ahead. You go ahead.
I need eye contact for this. I need eye contact. I need your whole attention. We're going to talk a little bit about The Mandalorian.
You want to start?
Yeah, I'm going to start with The Mandalorian. Okay. To be clear, I'm not going to spoil anything for it. I know you haven't seen it. It's very likely.
Spoilers.
What?
Only spoilers.
Only the social media has already spoiled enough of it. Anyway, so first episode of The Mandalorian came out on Disney Plus November 12th, which was Tuesday. Mm-hmm. If you were East Coast time, you got to see it a little earlier than the rest of the U.S., right? Because it was right there, right when the service launched. It is directed, kind of showrun and written by Jon Favreau, the first episode.
Okay.
He didn't direct it. He just wrote it, and he's kind of the showrunner, the producer of it. Jon Favreau, you know who Jon Favreau is.
I know the name.
Iron Man. Iron Man 2. The guy who plays Happy, but he directed the movies as well.
Gotcha.
Jungle Book. I think he did Lion King as well. So they brought him on for this. And it's about a Mandalorian. You know what Mandalorians are?
No, not at all.
Boba Fett, Jango Fett.
Okay.
Awesome helmets, padding. Okay. Bounty hunters, usually warriors.
So what's the outside of bounty hunter? What would they do?
So they're I'm not going to go too deep into this because we're trying to keep it short.
Let's get
deep. Are like a family / sort of niche caste guild kind of type planet where they have their families or their organizations, their
groups.
Is
it a race?
Yeah, Mandalorian is a race.
Okay.
And so Boba Fett and Jango Fett are both Mandalorians. So they look human. They just look human. What?
Yeah, okay.
And they're related,
humans.
but yeah, they're just humans. So they're on a planet.
Okay.
So The Mandalorian is set after the original trilogy, so after the fall of the Empire. I don't know if it's set before the current sequel trilogy or not, but it might be. It doesn't really matter for the plot. And the biggest things that I'm going to give you to kind of attract you to this is that they decided to go spaghetti western with it, which is a surprising choice. Yeah. And that's true. You will hear it in the soundtrack instantly. You will see it in the cinematography instantly. I will, even though the actor that plays him, I believe is named Pedro Pascal, who's a great actor, been in a lot of good premium television series. You can just look him up on the internet. He, you don't see his face. Doesn't take off the helmet because, they're not big on taking off their helmets when strangers are around. Yeah. Also, the pilot was only 36-ish minutes of actual television. They actually kept it to 39 minutes with the credits, which was good. I think that was a smart idea, especially since they went hard into like a Clint Eastwood style mixed with a classic spaghetti western, so it's very slow.
So did they fill the other 20 minutes with just Disney Plus advertisements?
No, there were no ads.
Just Lizzie McGuire advertisements.
just
stuffed in there. Just can't get away from it.
Just Even Stevens advertisements. It would just pop up in the corner. Check out Even Stevens on Disney Plus. You're watching Disney Plus.
And then they draw with their finger.
Yeah, they draw with their finger. Anyway. It's just endless trailers for the movie Holes. It's all Shia LaBeouf on the Disney Plus these days.
Does he host the entire network?
Every video starts with him being like, "And I present to you," and then he just says the show, and the title card comes up. That's it. It's not like too much Shia LaBeouf. It's just a weird amount of him. Yeah. But yeah, it's good, and you should watch it. You should prioritize it. Because I think you'll be interested in what they do around the Star Wars thing. Okay. And it's obviously going to be a slow burn. Like, they're not rushing to get to any of the plot points. They're just letting you do it. Yeah. Like, watch the thing kind of unfold very naturally, which they get to do now because it's a live-action television series. So.
Yeah. Nice.
So, yeah, that's that.
I think it's a good movement for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to wait for movies.
Yeah,
and I just want there to be a TV show, and there could be a couple TV shows.
There could just be a network, be like a whole Star Wars.
Star Wars Plus.
They could call it. They could call it Star Wars, but the T is replaced with a plus symbol, so it's Splasar Wars. But yeah,
it's Shia LaBeouf writing it out with his finger,
writing it with his finger, and then kicking a mouse, and it's the logo. But yeah, you should watch it. It's very good. But don't watch it when you're sleepy because it is slow. So it's got some action in it, but it's paid like the editing days.
I'm good with that. Yeah, I think that's
fine.
The right
and
move.
Especially if the pilot's only like 35, 36 minutes of watching it.
Yeah.
If you don't watch the credits, like, that's fine.
Yeah. I will say that I do have Disney Plus, so I can watch it.
You've been watching Gargoyles, I assume. Or X-Men.
No, so I kicked it off with watching Steamboat Willie. I was like, if you're going to do Disney right, you just start from the beginning.
I was waiting. I kicked it off with watching those racist scenes from Dumbo.
No. We did watch Pinocchio, though.
Yeah, that's cool.
And there was a creepy scene of that.
There's some scenes in Pinocchio.
Yeah. But overall, yeah, decent. I think Disney Plus is a good move for Disney, and I don't know. A
terrible move for humanity.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's the logical choice for Disney.
It's not a bad thing. I think Netflix will. I mean, obviously they're already talking about a lot of Nickelodeon stuff. So
yeah, they already signed that deal with them.
That'll be beneficial, and I don't think Netflix. It's going to take a lot for Netflix to become the network that you decide to cancel. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like there's a lot of other things. There's a lot of other subscriptions to cancel before your Netflix. So.
But my CBS Now is so important. I do subscribe to the CBS one because I like Star Trek, and therefore I have to watch Discovery.
Only place, yeah.
I also like The Good Fight on CBS streaming. Oh, exclusively. It's a good show. It's exclusively on. It's very good. It's a spinoff
Yeah.
of The Good Wife, which is on regular
Oh.
CBS, and you can catch episodes also on their streaming service. This episode is brought to you by CBS streaming.
Definitely not Disney Plus.
No, I think Disney Plus makes a lot of sense, and I think when I consider it now that it's real, when I consider what it has, the $6.99, the real low entry rate, makes a lot of sense. Because whereas there is a lot of content, there's not a lot of new and original content, and that's where the heat is in a streaming service. Apple is 100% aware of that, and has been like blitzing ad campaigns for all of their new stuff that's coming to them. And Disney's aware, and it's coming. They've already got the lineups planned, and they've announced that. But all of it's in like 2020, 2021. So right now it's The Mandalorian, that Jeff Goldblum show, a couple other like little things that are kind of reality television things. And then them
New
being
Lizzie
like
McGuire.
new Lizzie McGuire, Even Stevens crossover universe episode, Endgame style.
What was the game show with the kids? And there was like it was like boulders and things that they had to run from.
That was Nickelodeon.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I guess that won't be on there.
No.
Then.
Legends of the Hidden Temple are the one with the aggro crag on
okay.
it. Guts.
They should remake that.
Was the other one.
That would
So
be
they
great.
made a Legends of the Hidden Temple movie. You can watch it.
Like recently?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay.
It's not on Disney Plus because it's Nickelodeon.
No, yeah.
But it's like
One
a
day.
fictionalized telling of an actual, the whole mythos of the game show. It's the dumbest thing. It would be like making it's like the gritty drama FXX next season 2020. Double Dare. Mark Maron, a man locked in a cage of being afraid of germs and messes. Of obsessive compulsive disorder.
All
But
terrible.
yeah, no.
All terrible.
So yeah, that was Mandalorian. We went way over 3-4 minutes for that, but whatever. We had a discussion.
Episode's over.
Episode's done.
High five.
What are
Very
you
nice.
telling me?
Okay, so
I remember earlier you mentioned one thing, so I can prompt you.
yeah, no, so I'm gonna start from the other end. Start not necessarily brand new,
Okay.
but only like a week old.
Yeah.
So last episode we talked about the new Gang Starr song,
Yeah.
which was cool, all that good stuff. You can go back and watch the first episode if you want to know more about that.
Yeah.
Last
good
week
song,
though, they
too.
dropped the full album.
Oh, so it led exactly to what you were hoping
Yes.
for, which is like, here's a song,
Yes.
here's an album.
Here's an album.
How's the
Yeah.
album in comparison to the song? Because the song set a
Yeah.
pretty high-ish bar.
I actually like the album more than the song.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of more Gangstar styled songs throughout the album. From my understanding is that Solar, the guy that Guru was working with, is the one that kind of was a part of the recording for a lot of those, and Premiere somehow got his hands on them. I don't know exactly what the backstory is. There is definitely a backstory because now Solar's mad. That he's not credited on any of it, and he feels like he was a part of it. And I guess he released a song that's his version of a song that's on the album, like with a DJ Solar beat. And all the comments are just people hating him and being like, "You're terrible. Stop doing this."
I love the desperate housewives aspect pettiness.
Absolutely. I mean, it has been that way for a long time with them,
of hip hop.
Yeah.
Like as a suburbanite Caucasian young boy, we all got the big stories about West Coast versus East Coast and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We got into the occasional conversations where like some pop star and some hip hop artist would be fighting, or Kanye would take the mic or whatever.
Yeah.
But the deeper you go in, the more like basic bitch.
This
all
one's
of the
pretty bad too,
behavior is.
because this is very much like he was my friend, not your friend kind of fight.
Yeah, right.
Like
you fucking abandoned him, and he was my
Yeah, it's bad.
I can't wait for one of them to yell at a cat, and the cat to look at it sassily back.
It'll happen.
I want that
It'll
meme.
happen.
I want that meme. Our huge YouTube audience, get that meme up right now. Get that meme up. I want to see what's his name. Solar.
DJ Solar.
Solar.
Yeah.
I want to see Solar
Trash.
as the pointing lady. And then the cat is like the internet.
Yeah.
It's like, he was my friend first. And the cat's like, you're garbage.
There's some really good features, right? Because, I mean, Guru's not there, so there's a lot of single verses.
They punch in some features.
Yeah, so like MOP's on it, Q-Tip's on there, Group Home's on there, which is like a classic Gangstar, like founding one of the other groups that was like when Gangstar really blew up, then Premiere was like, okay, here's these other people I'm working with as well. So Group Home, they haven't done anything in a long time, so it was good to see them on it. J. Rue the Damager, who's another member of all of that. Again, a lot of people that have kind of disconnected from Premiere, but because they were all friends, they were like kind of all came back together.
It's like a little bit of a reunion.
Yeah, absolutely. Neo's on it.
Neo.
He's on there.
I miss Neo.
The song with J. Cole on it. If you like J. Cole, cool. Talib Kweli, Big Shrug, some other people. I don't know. Overall, it's good. The one good thing, though, that came out of it as well is that supposedly there was 30-some tracks total that Premiere was able to get his hands on. And so this is like volume 1. So there's going to be another record.
Oh, that's nice. It's always nice to have.
We'll see if, who knows? It might never happen, but supposedly there's enough.
But it's more likely to happen.
Yes.
If there's enough, rather than if they're like, nope, this is what we did, and you're like, okay, we're never going to hear anything like this again.
Yeah. Which also, the good thing about that too is I feel like they're smart enough to not take all the best of and be like, here's the first record, and here's all the best stuff that we have. And there's maybe some more like gems that'll come out of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. Exciting.
Okay, I will listen to that now that I know that it's out.
I need to go back and listen to it. So much good stuff has come out that I've only listened to it a couple times.
Yeah,
so.
I've been busy listening to much worse hip hop, as you know.
Of course.
With the Nerdcore VPC, but we're not talking about that. We are talking about.
There's a whole other.
It's real mean. It's like it's so much worse hip hop than Gang Starr. I was like, how dare they not be Gang Starr doing a good album with a bunch of great rappers? Like, how dare these home amateurs not dominate a 20-year legacy sound? Anyway, what was my second? Oh, I remember my second one. I remember it. Okay, so in unrelated to music news entirely, we're going to shift from Disney Plus to its competitor, and from one animation studio to a different. CBS now.
Not HBO now. CBS now.
January 2020, Picard starts coming up on CBS. So there you go.
Has that show, that's when that launches?
Yeah, I think it's January or February. Yeah.
Okay. That's exciting.
I don't know. I'm going to have to do a reaction video to every goddamn episode. I'm going to have so much Star Trek. They're going to be like, is this channel just music and Star Trek? Is that the two things you're into?
Basically.
And I'm like, I also talk about TV. Sometimes video games. So we're going to go one animation studio to the other. We're going to go from Disney to DreamWorks because DreamWorks is handling a bunch of the Netflix animation, and one of those is Shira.
Oh, yeah.
The Princesses of Power.
Yeah.
And so you have not watched Shira.
So I haven't, and honestly, I'm not really hip on the original Shira because it's a little bit before my time. Right?
Bit.
I was heavy Batman, right? So that's my time frame.
Batman,
so
the animated
Shira
series.
wasn't. She was around. It was around.
But He-Man and She-Ra and basically it was 280s. It was 280s.
It was a little rough, yeah. It was. I mean, it was on. It was just not necessarily what I was watching.
Well, good news. Don't go back and watch it and ignore it entirely because I'm gonna drop some heat, some spice on this video. The original He-Man and She-Ra are garbage shows. You can throw Thundercats in with them. The 80s is a terrible time in animation, and you need to accept that. Real Ghostbusters, that's it. So She-Ra.
Mario had some jams though. The Mario cartoon.
That was in the 90s. The cartoon started in the 90s.
I'm gonna derail you just a little bit. That Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon's on Netflix now.
Yeah, the one about the chili dogs or the one with the real plot behind it?
Chili dogs.
Yeah, the chili dogs is fun. The real plot one is the one I like, but I think it's because I like the theme song a lot, and I like the idea that it hella looks like Dr. Robotnik is trying to euthanize a people, which is super dark.
Yeah. Okay,
Plus, I thought the rabbit was hot. Anyway, She-Ra. DreamWorks, Netflix. It just released its season 4, though you could call it season 3. Seasons 2 and 3 were both half seasons.
Okay.
It's kind of how they did a lot of Legend of Voltron, but seasons 1 and season 4 are both 13 episodes. That came out on Friday of last week.
Okay.
And I just finished it early before I came here. And it is super good. You've watched Steven Universe. I can't remember if you caught all the way up, but you watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
And so you know how Steven Universe has like a lot going on in it that if you're in like an adult, you're like, man, they're really hitting it with some significant issues.
Yeah.
Even though it's just kind of wrapped up in but friendship and believing in each other, right? Like most kids shows. Shira, same vibe.
Okay.
100% same vibe. A gently different color palette, but the jewel tone sort of similar-ish, like an very close to adjacent Steven Universe palette. But you need to know nothing about the original series. The only thing that's fun about the original series is looking up their character design and then the character design from the new show.
Okay. See where they took hints from.
Long game. Like again, it's so far it's 39 episodes across all that's released, so it's not actually super long. But they definitely take their time with their plot. Yeah. It's funny, it's cute, it's sweet. It's like it lives in a heartwarming space. She was a badass. It's really fun. It has the worst theme song.
It's like 80s power rock.
No. See, that would make some sort of sense, or like maybe something that was more in the line. So it's a pop song.
Okay.
About being strong and winning the night, which makes sense.
It's like
but it's kind
Katy
of
Perry song.
But yeah, it's a lot. It's very Katy Perry, which it's not so much the style as the fact that because it's a fantasy world alien setting, it feels out of place.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
Yeah, but it's real good. Each piece ends with a good cliffhanger that's very satisfying, like, oh, this is going to be what the next season's about. So it's not so much like, oh, what will happen? Oh, no. You're excited asking that question because they're kind of telegraphing what will happen, and you're like, oh, how is that going to come about? Yeah. Because you know whatever just happened is not going to end up well for the ultimate friendship trio there. Yeah. But yeah, it's very good. Good voice acting, good general art design. No songs like Steven Universe, which makes me sad. But overall, definitely worth the watch and very digestible. So it's easy to just sort of rip through the series, similar to Steven Universe, where you can just rip through it. Except it has full 20 to 22 minute episodes, not the little 11-minute vignettes, because it's a lot like if Steven Universe and Legends or Voltron Legendary Defenders sort of like ran into each other and had a series. Okay. It's got more action and the stakes are a little bit more intense right out the bat. And though they're young, they're not in any way treated as children. Yeah. Versus Steven Universe, which is still dealing with that. Yeah. Better villains, better everything. So watch it, and then don't watch the original Shira. It's so terrible. And He-Man is also bad. Yeah. The best thing that came out of He-Man was the internet's take on He-Man. Yeah. Even the He-Man Masters of the Universe reboot from Cartoon Network's back in like 2009, I want to say, 2010? Yeah. Maybe 2008. Still not that great. I would love to see the Shira team do He-Man. I was almost worried that they were going to like jump into that. Mm-hmm. But it's end of the fourth season. There's been no mention of it. Nice. They seem to have no intent to cross over. They might eventually. They can. Yeah. But I'm glad that they're just like, no, this is not why we did the original show. Because the original show was literally exactly what you'd expect. He-Man was successful, and they're like, we need a He-Man for girls. Yeah. And then that's what happened. All right. Who's the second hip hop thing?
So we got 5 minutes left. So I think I'm gonna end it on 2 real quick ones.
Okay, give me 2 fast ones.
Okay, so Brother Ali, and Evidence. And are you familiar with Evidence?
Yes.
So they dropped a record. Evidence did all the beats on it. Mm-hmm. Supposedly the whole record was just done in their in Evidence's house, and Evidence was making the beats. Brother Ali was writing at the time, and then just kind of one took rapped the whole thing.
Of course.
So it's a lot of just bars.
Just bars.
Bars with just really
I'm
grimy
shocked.
beats.
From a Brother Ali album,
Well,
bars.
more so than even for him. Like for him, like he does hooks. He
does do hooks. He does
catchy
do hooks.
songs.
He has catchy songs, but this one's a lot more just like straight flowing.
Straight, yeah, absolutely. Like almost like no gloves. Like this is just Brother Ali just rapping. If you just let him rap for 30 minutes straight.
Yeah, right.
I feel like it's the best record that's come out this year for me.
Yeah.
I'm sure for somebody else it's probably not, but for me it's like.
Well, because I'm assuming you like the production.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of Evidence overall. Like I don't love his records. His production is. I mean, honestly, he doesn't really rap over his own production. So the production side's kind of newer, I guess, in a sense. I mean, he's done a few, beat tapes and stuff like that, but this is kind of really him being.
I didn't know him as a producer. So,
exactly. Yeah. But overall, I think the vibe is right, and everything that they put together is really good. It's very tape sounding, just the way it's structured.
Yeah.
It's just a little EP. It kind of came out of nowhere, but definitely worth listening to. And then my second one is the brand new DJ Shadow record.
I knew
that
you
came
were going
out
to bring
today.
up DJ Shadow.
So I haven't finished the record.
That's how fresh it is.
That's
You're
how fresh it is,
3/4 through.
Yeah. So
and then I came and interrupted your day.
and it does. So it seems like it's a double album based on the way it's
nice.
structured. And the first album is all just instrumentals.
Yeah.
Not from the second record, but just like
here's separate.
A beat tape.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a gift from DJ
it
Shadow.
Might be the best. So DJ Shadow is known for his sample selection and the way he makes beats, going back to like original DJ Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
He then quickly made a left turn and has just not made any beats like that in like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And I've hated it. Like I love DJ Shadow, but at the same time, like he hasn't dropped a good record in a long time for me. So this record came out, and I was like, okay, I'll listen to it. It's DJ Shadow, of course. I'll listen to it.
You're always
going to
give it a chance.
And I was like, okay, so this must be a beat tape, right? Because there's no vocals or anything. There's not really samples, but all of the beats just make sense, and they're good. They're very like, they could be a soundtrack behind, say, like a Forza game, right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, these beats work. They're kind of grimy. It's working, right? So I'm listening through this record, and the beats kind of progress well. There's a lot of weird things happening. And then it switches to the second disc, which is then the rapping side of it, where it's like all these MCs. So it's like Nas and De La Soul and Run the Jewels, like
it's
all the classics.
Exactly who's going to be like, oh, you want me on a track? I'm fucking there, DJ Shadow. Right.
And the beauty of that, and I haven't finished this yet, but the beauty of that side is that it's still that same Forza soundtrack. It's just the other half of the Forza soundtrack. So all the rap parts in Forza, it's that. And then all the instrumental beats in Forza, it's that. So, I mean, if this whole record, it doesn't become the Forza soundtrack for Forza 7 or whatever.
Whatever Forza they're on.
It definitely should be. That's
Forza.
That's my vote.
Need for Speed 2 Underground.
Yes,
Forza
exactly.
Underground.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I will go listen to. I mean, I was already going to listen to the DJ Shadow thing, but
Brother Ali though, I think.
But Brother Ali, I'll give it a listen.
Yeah.
You know me, I like that the pop structure of a song.
Yeah,
but if I know that it's gonna be straight spitting, I can listen to it at a time that I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
Not being like, oh, Brother Ali, this is gonna be all over the place, basically on what he decides the song is gonna be. On a given thing, which is what he normally does, right? Where he's like, this is a minute and a half. This one's 5. This one, there's like 6 hooks in it. It's weird.
Yeah.
This one, there's barely a hook in it, but it's super chill. So I'll give you one last real fast one, so that we're 3 and 3.
1 minute.
1 minute. That's more than fine.
Okay.
You should be playing Outer Worlds.
Okay.
Even though you don't like that styles of games. It's funny.
Okay.
It's interesting. Okay. If you don't want to play it, watch a playthrough of it. It is...
I could do that.
Everything Fallout New Vegas was.
Okay.
And more. And it's gorgeous, and it's a AA studio, so it's got a lot of character to it to make up for the fact that they couldn't spend... $100 million on graphics alone and marketing, and it deserves the success. So if you don't want to play it, just watch it.
Okay.
But it is legit hilarious. The writing in it is great. The gameplay is fun. And I love it because it's also only like 40, 50 hours at max if you're a completionist.
Yeah.
Because they're like, why would you want to play the same game for over 100 hours in an RPG? But Outer Worlds, it's no surprise that this is what I'm recommending because I'm a big Bethesda fanboy and I was a big Obsidian and Black Isle fanboy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Outer Worlds, that's the easy one. I was almost going to tell you to read a book, but then I realized I'm like, neither of us have time to read a book. Nope. All right. So as I can clearly see, we are at exactly half the sands of time on the hourglass.
We made it.
We made it. We did it awkwardly. We were a little long on the front. Our foreplay was real long. But when it came down to getting to Pound Town, we knocked out 3 referrals just as in a third the time as the other 3 referrals. So we did not. I got real sexual with that. That was not intended or planned. Bill, do you feel like your life is enriched? Do you feel like you're going to at least taste the things that God, this is so disgusting. Try the things.
I mean, Star Wars for sure. That's happening.
Yeah.
Shira probably will.
Yeah, you should.
Absolutely.
Outer Worlds, watch those playthroughs.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to play it.
I might link
but
you one.
I might play it after I watch the video.
You watch a little bit of it. And then I will, of course, listen to the Brother Ali and DJ Shadow and the Gangster. You gave me, it's like, hey, here's acts you already listened to.
Yeah.
I didn't know about Gangstar, though, and I didn't know about Brother Ali. I knew he was touring because you saw him. You just saw him.
Tomorrow.
Right? Tomorrow is when you're seeing him. And so I knew he was touring, but I didn't know he's just like, and I dropped this album.
Yeah.
I hope he just raps the album straight. Like,
I'm
no
hoping so,
hooks.
too. I mean,
nothing, just comes in,
the
spits for 30
tour was
straight.
announced before the record came out.
Yeah.
So really, it was just like Brother Ali and Evidence on tour, and it was like, okay, well, that's cool.
That's fine.
And then
that
the
makes
album
sense.
came out, and then it was like, oh,
this makes more sense.
This is what this is.
This makes more sense.
So they have to be doing the record.
But,
I'm sure they'll do other stuff, but it's going to be that record for sure.
Yeah. It's the end of our adventure.
We made it.
We did.
Should you turn the TV off?
I think that's all I've got left to do. So hold on, I've already bumped the mic.
Ruined it.
Strong start.
Ruined it.
Retake the whole episode. How do I unplug
Take
the
4. The corner. In the corner. Other corner. Other corner. Bottom corner.
Oh, it's right here. It's right here. Is it input?
Nope.
And then we go 2 over.
Nope.
And that, and then
to
I
the
select,
VGA
then I select
input.
red for stop TV. Stop. No.
Oh no! It's all bad.
All right, I'm gonna stop the joke now because I don't want to fuck up the television. Like and subscribe. Subscribe to Dying of Exposure. Hit the like button, the notification buttons to get updates on our videos. Go to noirgrime.com to hear all of Bill Beats' excellent hip-hop. Go to iHeartSteve.com to eventually hear some of my all right hip-hop. And then and thank you to our sponsor, CBS Streaming, for making all of our dreams. CBS Go?
CBS when? Whatever.
CBS Y. Thank you to CBS Streaming for giving us so many good shows like The Good Fight on CBS Streaming. Coming up on its 5th season. And Picard and Discovery. And that's all I know because those are the shows I'm interested in. And apparently I feel the need to pay $60 for an annual subscription where I watch 2 seasons of television on it. But whatever.
Didn't CBS have that Tim Allen show where he was like a dad? And it was like kind of like
The Last Man Standing or Home Improvement?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Home Improvement was
Recent.
ABC. Last Man Standing is what you're talking about. Yes, that is CBS.
Okay.
If it seems like the sitcom is from 15 to 20 years ago, but it's airing today, it's CBS. If you're like, an Odd Couple reboot, who wanted that? CBS wanted that. But I thank them for having Star Trek. And they also had some other shows. I watch... Let's just keep talking about CBS now.
Maybe we'll get that sponsorship.
Yeah, maybe we'll get it.
I don't think
100 views. Get these guys a jet. They give us nothing else. Just put a jet in front of your house.
They've spent money on worse things.
They have spent money.
Let's be honest.
Star Trek Voyager was the thing. No. Secretary of State. That's another show I watched with Taya Leone of Spanglish fame is what I'm going to call that. Okay.
Ended of that.
Well, it's still recording, so I feel like compelled.
Subscribe now at CBS.com.
Subscribe now. Go to CBS.com/Bill and Steve's Excellent Adventure for your 0% off coupon to a 404 not found domain.
All right.